Have you ever stopped to think about how much of your life you waste stuck in the past or anxious about the future? The truth is, while you worry about what has already happened or what hasn't even occurred yet, life is slipping through your fingers. The most important moment of your life isn't yesterday, nor tomorrow. It's now. In this video, I'm going to show you why holding on to the past and fearing the future is sabotaging your happiness, and how you can, from today onwards, start living for real. Stay with me until the end, because what you're going to discover here might transform your way of seeing life. The invisible weight of clinging to the past. How many times have you found yourself thinking, what if I had done this differently? If that person was still here, my life would be better. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? That happens because holding on to the past is like carrying a backpack full of invisible stones. Every memory, every regret, every loss you can't let go of turns into an emotional weight that stops you from moving forward. But do you know what's even more cruel about it? Those stones you're carrying don't even exist anymore. The past, as much as it has shaped who you are today, is gone. It can't be changed, rewritten, or lived again. Yet, you keep unconsciously trying to resolve old stories. And while you do that, the present life, the only one you can control, passes by without being lived. Think about it. How much energy are you spending on things you can't change anymore? And what are you losing by being tied to those invisible chains? All that time spent reliving mistakes, hurts, or moments that are long gone is time you will never get back. Now, let me ask you, is it worth continuing to carry this burden? Clinging to the past paralyzes you and distances you from what really matters, the present. Letting go of those ties is an act of courage and self-love. It's understanding that, as painful as it might have been, the past served its purpose, and your mission now is to learn from it, not relive it. If you keep living in the what if, you will miss the only thing you can truly change, the now. And it's in the now that everything happens. Do you want to keep watching your life go by, or are you ready to start living for real? The choice is yours. Anxiety, the ghost of a future that doesn't exist yet. How many nights have you lost worrying about what might happen tomorrow? About that work meeting, the bills that are piling up, or the fear that something might go wrong. Anxiety is this ghost that haunts our thoughts, always bringing worries about a future that hasn't even arrived yet. The problem is, while you exhaust yourself trying to predict what will happen, the present slips away, and the peace that should be your companion turns into restlessness. Anxiety stems from our need for control. We want to ensure everything will go right, that we'll be prepared for any challenge, but the truth is we can't foresee what's coming. And in trying to do so, we create a mental landscape of fear and uncertainty. We get stuck in assumptions. What if I fail? What if something goes wrong? What if the future doesn't turn out as I expect? And this what if drains our energy and joy. But here's the thing no one tells us, the future we fear so much doesn't exist yet. It's just a projection, a movie created by our mind. And do you know the most important detail about this movie? It's fictional. The future is uncertain, and the control we seek so much is an illusion. The more we cling to this illusion, the further we drift from real life, from the present moment. Now, think with me, what's the point of suffering in advance for something that hasn't happened yet? How many of your worries actually became reality? Anxiety is a silent thief that steals not only your peace, but also your ability to act. Because when you're too busy worrying about what might happen, you lose the chance to fully live what is happening now. So, the question is, do you want to keep allowing the fear of the future to control your life? Or are you ready to let go of this illusionary control and trust the process, living one day at a time with more lightness and less fear? The future may be uncertain, but the present is right in front of you, waiting to be lived. Longing versus attachment, know the difference that changes everything. Have you ever felt nostalgic for a moment or a person and, at the same time, realized that this memory was holding you back, stopping you from moving forward? This is where many people get confused. There's a huge difference between longing and attachment. Longing is that pleasant feeling, a good memory that brings gratitude for something we've experienced. Attachment, on the other hand, is like a chain that ties us to the past and prevents us from living in the present. Let's better understand this difference. Longing is when you remember something good, smile, and move forward. It's gratitude for having experienced something meaningful that, in some way, contributed to who you are today. There's no suffering in longing. There's affection, respect, and acceptance. It's like saying to yourself, how wonderful that I had that opportunity, that I lived through that, and now I move forward with the lessons I've learned. But attachment is different. Attachment is that insistence on wanting the past to return. It's the desire to relive something that has already gone. It brings suffering because it places you in a constant struggle against reality. Attachment doesn't accept the end, doesn't accept that things change, and this creates a cycle of frustration. You're stuck in what if, always thinking about how things could have been different if that moment, that person, or that phase were still present in your life. Now, ask yourself, what have you been holding on to in your heart? Longing or attachment? Longing can be light, bringing memories that warm the soul, while attachment is heavy, an anchor that stops you from moving forward. To live fully, it's essential to learn to let go of what is no longer part of your present, to value the good memories without letting them turn into chains. Remember, longing celebrates, attachment binds. And it's in this difference that lies the key to your emotional freedom. Are you ready to let go of the past and move forward more lightly, enjoying every second of your journey? The transformative power of living in the present. Now, imagine this, you're having a perfect day, surrounded by people you love or achieving something you've always dreamed of, but instead of enjoying the moment, your mind is elsewhere, worrying about what comes next or what you left behind. Does that sound familiar? Often, we are physically present, but our mind is lost between the past and the future, stealing the chance to fully live what really matters, the now. The present is the only real moment you have. It's where life happens, it's where you can act, change, feel, and truly be happy. The past can't be altered, the future is uncertain, but the present is here, right in front of you, waiting to be lived. And it is precisely in this moment that the power of transformation lies. Living in the present is not just a nice phrase, it's a way of life that changes everything. When you focus on the now, you free yourself from the chains of what has passed and from the worries of what is yet to come. This doesn't mean you should ignore the future or forget the past, but rather that you should learn to use those experiences as tools, not as burdens. Think about it, when was the last time you really allowed yourself to feel the present? Without distractions, without worrying about what comes next, just fully appreciating that unique moment. When we are 100% present, our ability to appreciate the small things expands, our mind calms down, and our actions become more conscious and powerful. The present is where everything happens. It's where you build your future and redefine your past. When you live in the present, you open yourself up to opportunities you might never have noticed before. It is here, in this very moment, that you have the power to change your life, to make better decisions, and to create memories that truly matter. So, I invite you to make a choice now. Do you want to keep being a spectator of your own life, living between what has passed and what hasn't even happened yet? Or are you ready to become the protagonist, taking control and living every second with intensity and purpose? The present is a gift, and it's in your hands now. Will you make the most of it? The past is gone. The future, no matter how much it worries us, doesn't exist yet. The present, this very moment, is the only thing truly within your reach. Holding on to what has passed and anxiety about what is to come are traps that distance us from true happiness. When you learn to let go of the weight of the past, stop fearing what's ahead, and value the moment you have now, your life will transform in ways you may never have imagined. Remember, life doesn't wait. Every second you spend stuck in thoughts about what was or what will be is a second lost. Choose to be present, choose to feel the now, and embrace all the opportunities that life places in front of you. The present is the only time you can shape, where changes happen, and where your true happiness can be found. If you want more reflections to awaken your mind and soul to live more consciously, subscribe to the channel now. Here, you'll find the motivation needed to break the chains of the past, let go of the fear of the future, and live the present intensely. Together, we can build a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. If you're ready for this transformation, click the subscribe button and activate the bell so you don't miss any content that can change the way you live. And to conclude, I leave you with the words of Isaiah 43 verses 18 to 19, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it?" May you open your eyes to the new things God has in store for your life, living the present with faith and trust. God bless you, and see you in the next video.